So what I'm doing here is just making up the backings for the back of the chair and just doing some wall lining. What I'm doing here is I'm just running around with all leftover thermoshield, so I've just chucked some rust converter down just in case anything was sort of a little bit iffy around anywhere, just to sort of seal it up, just get it ready, because we did have a few leaks from the windows and the tail lights. Seems to be the go on most coasters, so if you're ever checking out a coaster, make sure that you check behind all these panels, make sure you check down in there. There's even some grommets at the bottom, just maybe even release them. See if any water sort of rusty gunk comes out. Yeah, but I'll put down the rust converter and the rust prime, and then I'll put down the etch primer as well. And now I'm just going to put down the actual ThermoShield product. And I'm also mainly doing it in this back section here because I'm going to leave this panel off for the bottom 3/4 of it. Our barbecue is going to slide directly in here, and the handle is maybe about 20mm too big, so it slips in there and it sits in there nicely. And then we're going to sit the water hose in there as well. It'll be a nice little spot for it, easy access for when we pull up. And another reason I'm using the ThermoShield in there is hopefully it's going to take away some of the drumminess, because I'm not going to sheet it as well, so we don't want any heat sort of coming through, or any heat lost in winter. So I'm just going to use that, so hopefully it'll take out a bit of the sound and dampen it all, and hopefully just act as a bit of a thermal barrier there as well. Thought might as well just left over the last little bit of the ThermoShield that I didn't use. So yeah, I'm going to put down the ThermoShield right now. What I've done here is just with the leftover bit from each time I've been doing the rust prime and the etch primer and stuff like that, I've been putting it in here, and then I'll just swirl it around and it's just forming a skin, so then it's sort of not a runny paint or anywhere, and then I'll dispose of that at the tip correctly. Done the first coat, and now I'm just about to do the second coat. Before that, just because it's a little bit rough, we end up using brace ply for all the backings of sort of the walls. Not going to see most of it or even touch most of it anyway, so we just thought we'd use the brace ply. What I've done is I've sanded it and then I've painted it once, and now I'm just going to go back over it and sand it before I give it its last coat. You can feel that it's like a little bit grippy, almost sort of like sandpaper, shark skin. And then I'll use the 240 grit, and then it will come up pretty nice. Just sort of rounded off that top edge as well, just if we do see it at all, that's going to be a nice rounded edge instead of a sharp edge. Good job, Vinny. Make sure you get all that.
Good. But hide them now.
Ready for painting?
Yeah. More sand.
More sanding.
More sand.
I don't know, Daddy. Doing more sanding?
Do you want to have a go?
You want to do some sanding, Vinny?
And then that's it.
That's it.
You did it.
A little tool tip, roll up some paper towel and stick it in the rim, so then when you're pouring it goes over the top. You'll be able to remove that, and then no sticky lid next time you go to use it. Now that the board is cut to size, I'm just using it as a template to go over this piece of ply that I'm going to use for all my electrical devices. Watch out when you're jigsawing, just to make sure you're not going to cut through whatever you got it mounted on. I speak from experience. Before you put up any wall panellings, just make sure you take some photos or do some drawings, just so then you know where all your pipes and cabling are running. Here I'm using Sika roof and gutter as it's compatible with the metal on the side of the bus that I'm fastening these boards to. It's also going to help me create a dust seal and stop any vibration from these boards over time. What are you fixing?
Bolts.
Why?
Bolts. And this one there.
Another wall's in, Vinny.
Okay.
Yippee.
Need new bolts. Need new bolts.
Need new bolts done?
No, not at the moment, thanks. We already had the wall panel trimmed to size, but didn't put it in before we put this shelf in. Just because I didn't have the wiring and stuff in there, so what we've had to do is I've just trimmed it back, and it's just going to fit into that area now. And now I just need to find the area of that. I've just measured down from the top to there, and then from the bottom to there as well, and then across, and also sat the bit of board up there. And I just marked it along each side because you could get down there because it protrudes in a little bit, and seems to have worked quite well. I only have an 83 hole saw bit, so what I've done is I've found where it is, and now what I'm doing is I've marked around that just so I can keep its placement. And now that I've got that, I'm just gonna use my texter and I'll sit it so it's side on. So what that does is it just makes it sit out that little bit, which actually makes it to the 90mm hole that it needs to be. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to go on the outside of that. To be able to get my area, I'll use a jigsaw. And then it should slide over there and have a little bit of wiggle room as well, which I'd prefer to have. Just remember to drill any holes in the boards that you need to before mounting them, and have fun doing it. Thank you.